Hey there guys, and welcome back. This is going to be a tutorial video for you guys today. Been a little bit since I've done one, but this one's going to be how to mulligan. And yeah, there's some tricks to mulliganing and a couple different ways to do it depending on which deck you run actually, which I don't know if everyone realizes or not, and it'd probably be good for newer players too. But we'll get right into this. You don't know how many times I had to reset against this bot so I didn't end up with any veterans in my hand. I swear I wouldn't have that many games in a row if I was playing people. But let's get right into how to mulligan right. Now, when you mulligan, the unit you throw back is going to become blacklisted, it's called. So that means you're guaranteed not to draw into that card. It also has a higher chance of you. It also makes it have a higher chance of you drawing into it on the next round. But that's not as important right now. What's important is that, yeah, you throw it back, you're not going to see another one. If I throw back a Clan Tursek Skirmisher, for my next two mulligans, I'm not going to see another one. So, if you're playing a type of deck that actually needs a certain unit, like this one's Veteran Skellige, so you really want and really need like one of those veteran cards in your hand, what you want to do is take, if you have one of a unit that you run three of in your deck, you want to actually mulligan those first so you have the highest chance of getting that veteran. Because if I throw this veteran, this skirmisher away, that's three cards in my deck that aren't going to be drawn into, and that gives me a higher chance of veteran. And if I throw a whale harpooner back next, because I only have one of them right now, then that'll give me even higher chance, because that's six cards in my deck that I'm not going to draw into, and that gives me even a higher chance, because that makes it 16, so that's 9 cards left to go through. And then with my third mulligan, hopefully I get it. Let's see if we get it, but this is one of the tricks on how to mulligan if you're running a deck like Consume or something that's dedicated to seeing a Necker or Grand Warrior in your starting hand, or a Necker Warrior, and also in like Veteran Skellige where you want a veteran Clan Tursek veteran in your starting hand. So I'd throw this guy back. No, I didn't get him. Well, now I'll throw a Whale Harpooner back, hopefully. Nope. And I'll throw an Olgerd back. Wow. Well, it went from being in my starting hand every time to never. But at least I'd have a way to filter it out now, because I have a Madman Lugos. So I could throw the veteran over, resurrect it with Priest Freya, bring out another one with Battle Maiden. But yeah, that's just one of the ways you can actually use mulliganing to your advantage in this type of deck. We'll get into the next one. Yeah, I probably should have gone with a more basic way of how to mulligan first, but that first one was a little bit more advanced. This is just like how to normally mulligan. You see your starting hand. You want to blacklist things that you don't want to see, and you can be careful, because like say I wanted maybe a chance to see another full moon potion, or I wouldn't mind that, then I wouldn't want to throw that back. I'd want to throw like a Marauder back instead. But if I don't want to see any more full moon potions and just draw into other things in my deck, I'd throw full moon potion back because I only have one of them. Because that's also important. Like if you have two of one unit you don't want to see and one of another unit you don't want to see, you want to throw back this one that you have a single one of first, because then you have less of a chance of getting that third one that you have two of. But if you throw back, like, say I didn't want another full moon potion and I threw back a Marauder, because I don't want Marauders either, if that's the case, then I'd have two full moon potions left in my deck, and I'd have a higher chance of actually drawing the full moon potion, because, yeah, this is going to make it so there's two cards in my deck that I'm not going to draw into, and the full moon potion, I'd have two of them left, so it just, yeah, you'd have a higher chance of drawing into that. Whereas if you throw back the one, that's three cards you're not going to draw into, and you have one Marauder in your deck, so you're not going to draw in. You have less of a chance of drawing into that. So just basically mulligan your hand, try to get the best stuff that you can, and that's about it for the basics. Getting the last part. Alright, last two things. It's probably going to be a real short one, but there's not much to explain. There's just a couple little tricks, that's why I want to do this one. There's whatever you put on mulligan away is going to go on top of your deck. Well, have a higher chance of being on top of your deck, because it actually puts the card on top of your deck and then draws you the next card that's not the card that you threw back. So you have like double the chance of it ending up on your deck, on top of your deck, and drawing into it in the next round. So when you mulligan, if you're kind of like wondering, oh, this thing could be really good in the second round, but I don't really need it right now, or maybe you're really searching for something like that veteran or something, and you need to throw something back to get that veteran, and you kind of want everything, then you can throw whatever back, and you'll have a higher chance of getting it in the next round because they usually go on close to the top of your deck. And then the last thing is, in this type of deck, I run Crash and Crate to grab my Olgierd. So what I usually do is I'll do my mulligan. I'll mulligan like 2 units away. And then, okay, I have one more mulligan left, but I know I don't want to see an Olgierd in my starting hand. So if you got a decent hand, which this one isn't that great, I guess it's alright. But if you got a decent hand, I just keep it and wouldn't use that third mulligan. Because if I use my third mulligan and I end up with Olgierd on my hand, that kind of sucks. That kind of screws me. But if I had gotten him as like my second mulligan, then I wouldn't have to worry about that, and I could freely use my third mulligan. So if there's cards in your deck that you don't want to see in your starting hand, and you have a decent hand, don't use that third mulligan, because you're gonna not be able to draw. You could draw into that card that you don't want in your starting hand. Whereas if it's your first mulligan and you throw something back, then you draw into something that you don't want in your starting hand, you could just throw it back with your next mulligan. But having it be your last mulligan, you're stuck with whatever the game gives you. So that's just something I personally do. It really helps me with my mulliganing phase, because if you guys watch, you see that a lot of games I don't use my third mulligan just for that reason, because I don't want to see that card in my starting hand. I know with my luck, sometimes I'm going to see that card in my starting hand and it's going to be bad. The only times that I use it, if I have a card I don't want to see in my starting hand, is if I really need to take that chance to like get a veteran warrior, Clan Tursek veteran or something, if I'm running that type of deck. So that's about it for how to mulligan, guys. I mean, hope that helped and gave you guys some ideas or maybe something you didn't know about. But mulliganing's really basic when you get a hold of it. That's the hang of it. That's basically all the tricks I know, though, for how to use it to its full potential. And hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have a good one.